Macho John, Nad, and Juanito in my room, my wonderful private room, huge private room, at my rehab center outside of Asheville. It's a little after 6 in the morning and it's dark still, but not inside of me. A lot of clarity rushing around inside my brain, but it is rushing around, and there's a lot of it. There's more of it than I know how to tame right now, so we're going to see how it comes out. I literally cried myself to sleep last night. 6:30, not anywhere near dark, but I was in a very dark place, and had two really deep cries early in the day outside in front of the building. At the rehab center where I'm receiving care, where I am imprisoned, where I am an old man among old people, cowboy that I am, guy who's used to riding the range, the last horseman, in my camper van saying to my dog in the morning, "Where do you want to sleep tonight, babe?" Then we go wherever we want to go. Now I'm in a rehab center, and praise God that Medicare still exists and that the U.S. consulate helped me to get back to the U.S. and back to Asheville, North Carolina, where I used to live. But I've been shaking my head going, no, I'm supposed to be in Mexico. It took me 4 years to get to Mexico. And an afternoon to get back to Asheville, where I started. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm meant to be in Mexico. And I've been feeling so displaced, so lost. Okay, I came here for medical treatment. Now it's seeming like I'm probably not necessarily terminal. There's still 3 cancers need to be looked into, any of which could be bad. But the most likely scenario is that I'm here for the summer and maybe the fall, and then to find a way to get back to Mexico. And that's where I get lost. How is any of this going to work out? I have lodging here until the 9th. Where do I go after then? What do I do next weekend? What do I order for breakfast? Do I dare to eat a peach? I'm getting literary here. Jail for proofread. Yeah. So I was going to title this talk all about sustainability and happy endings, because the people who have accused me of being irresponsible in the last 5 years, hearty, middle-class, good, close friends, have had the genuine core of their concern is your life is not sustainable. When you lived in Asheville last time, you worked 20 hours a week at Earth Fair and were able to augment your Social Security check, and you could pay your bills. You have for 5 years now not been able to pay your bills. You've been relying on the charity of others a lot. And down in Mexico, when people would say, well, where's your family? You're traveling alone without family. The question always in the background was, well, who's going to take care of you when you get old, which you kind of are teetering on the brink of right now, and got spilled headlong into oldness on March 3 when I got sick, and I've been sick ever since, experiencing what it's like to be old, which I kind of had not before. And asking the question, well, what happens to me when I can't take care of myself? My friend in Playa del Carmen, David, that I had breakfast with a lot at the pier at the end of 6th Avenue, Calle 6, overlooking the Caribbean. His question was, I'm 72, he was 72, how do I find a woman who will take care of me when I can't do it because I've got like 10 good years? And I'd get mad at him. You don't know that. You could have a lot of good years. But I don't know how many more good years I've got. I don't know if I have. I don't know if I have another good year. I don't know if I'm going to live. I don't know if I'm going to get strong. I don't know what. I don't know Jack. No. So this is all what was bombing me out last night. How do I make myself sustainable? And as I was literally crying myself to sleep in that bed over there last night at 6:30, still light outside, I was begging God, give me clarity. Give me some clarity. Help something happen in this old head of mine by morning so I have some more clarity. And it worked. The goddess went to work, and by 3:30 this morning, the little buds of clarity were shooting up. And I'm not going to tell you, no, I'm going to tell you. This is the place where the Laurels, where I am right now, is not part of the Mission Hospital system, but I've been in the Mission Hospital system twice, 2 different hospitalizations at the ER, and the urologist I'm going to see is part of the Mission Hospital system. And the internist I'm going to see at NAHAC is part of the Mission Hospital system. They've gobbled everything up. And the wrongful hospitalization I had 5 years ago that I was going to sue their ass for was in that same hospital where I was a week ago. And although there's lots going good, my hands are shaking because that's part of the stuff I'm dealing with. Although there's lots that's much better about that hospital, what I came to realize from a local radio broadcast news piece, and then from talking with one of the nurses over there, is that there's a lot that's still not right. It's still owned by the usurers, the big money outfit, HCA, and there's still a lot that's wrong with that, and there still are community groups fighting that and documenting what's gone wrong because of that. Well, I've got part of that story of what went wrong 5 years ago. I've got part of that story. And then my bigger story, that hooks into the bigger story of what's wrong with psychiatry. I, as a psychologist who knows from the inside what's wrong with psychiatry. And why I got so excited in New Orleans was because Earfluence, this wonderful podcast house, got all excited. They were going to tell my story. One of their producers was wildly excited about my story about what's wrong with the psychiatric industry. She wanted to tell it. She got overruled by her boss and it didn't happen. But that's the story. When I fantasize going viral and going big, it's not so much that I'll be famous and have money, although it wouldn't be bad if I could pay my bills and not have to seduce some senorita to take care of me. You know, it would be okay. It would be just fine with me if I could sue their ass, and on the heels of that, sue the American Psychiatric Association, which is always make no small plans, go big, sue the American Psychiatric Association, have a lawyer who likes publicity, who wants to go big, who wants it to be in the news, wants to tell the story of over-diagnosing psychiatric illnesses and over-prescribing of bullshit, crazy, stupid psychiatric medications, which I know 30 years of that story. I'm the mouthpiece for that story. I can tell that story. Yeah. And I can gather data, and I can find ways to pay my bills. I can find where to live, and I can find who will listen to me, because my last therapist in Asheville, I said to her clearly, I don't want a therapist. I'm clear already. I already woke up. I want a witness. I want someone to whom I can tell my story and will hear it. And she was damn good that way for a long time. So I have to be telling my story like I'm doing right now, sending it to the right people. I did document that hospitalization just 2 days ago. I told that story into a video. Yeah. I'm running out of words. I think this particular piece of the documentation is a wrap. And we will move on to our day here and get physical therapy. And remember to give love, not just take it. Remember every step of the way that my mission here is not to take love, but to give it and to enjoy it when it gets returned. And to party, laissez les bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll, baby.